Well, it's lunchtime, so there's a Goodwill by me and a retail store for retro video games. So I'm gonna go check out Goodwill first. Goodwill has sucked lately, but you never know. You got to keep checking these places because 95% of the time you're gonna strike out. Let's see what they got. All right, so here's the situation.
Free waste.
I've been checking Goodwill on and off, usually on my lunch breaks. I'll Google, see where the closest Goodwill is, kind of see what they got. I see videos of people posting like them finding old consoles and rare games on YouTube, and shit they found at Goodwill, man. And I don't know what Goodwills you guys are shopping at, but out here in Arizona, we don't have any of that. I mean, I found like some PS2 games. I did find a GameCube. I actually found 2 GameCubes, but if you've watched my previous videos, you know how I feel about that. So I'm not looking to get that one right now. So yeah, so I've actually been checking out some of the local stores that I've never been to before, which leads me to the one that I found is really good is Flashback Games, which I picked up 3 games at, 3 Nintendo games. They're pretty common, but they're ones I haven't seen anywhere else, so I picked them up. And I'll tell you what those guys are, what those are later in the video. I did find one that I took some footage in that I'll show you guys. So here it is, and I'll let you know what that place is all about. Alright guys, here's Game Zone. This is one of the ones that I've never looked at before. You know, they had a okay variety of, not so commons to commons. The only thing I didn't like was their prices were on the higher end of the retail side. My rule for retail is if I go on Amazon and look for the buying options from, I'll look for the lowest retail price, and whatever that plus the shipping is, that's usually about as high as I'll go for retail. And that's also usually going to be on the lower end of the retail side. So I feel like that's a pretty fair price when it comes to these retail chains. Anything beyond that is just excessive markup in my opinion, and I'll just leave it there. So then that brings me to yesterday. I checked out Flashback Games. So this is Flashback Games. Didn't take any video while I was in there because I was having some good conversations with them, but go to Instagram and check them out. They're definitely worth a follow. And this place was actually closed a few weeks ago for the holiday break, so I didn't get to it. I wanted to go before, but walked in there 2 days ago, looked at their prices, was kind of in a hurry, didn't pick anything up, and I went back yesterday, had a good conversation with them. The one thing I really like about this place is they have booklets for sale, they'll have manuals, they'll have pretty much everything you need. So if you need to Frankenstein a game, you need to buy a cartridge because you can't afford the full game, more than likely you can always go back. They'll have the booklets there, they'll have the cases, so that's really cool. That's what I liked about it. And their prices, again, they're on the lower end of the retail side. I really don't mind paying retail. A lot of people don't like it. I'm okay with it as long as it's not excessive, as long as they're not just trying to price gouge you, which you will see a lot of resellers do. I understand that retail chains, of course, they have to have the retail prices. They have employees to pay, they have lights, they got bills they got to pay. So I'm cool with that. Plus, 95% of the time, these are small mom and pop shops, and it's good to support the community that way. And again, you pay a low retail price now. These games are only going to get more expensive, so I'm okay to spring the extra money. But that leads me into what I picked up yesterday. Alright guys, so here's pretty much what I picked up. First was Castlevania Simon's Quest. The reason why I picked up the second one first, I don't have the other ones yet, is because this is the one I had when I was a kid. And it still is one of my favorites, just because it's probably the first Castlevania game I ever played. The next one is Bad Dudes. Bad Dudes was my game back in the day. It's just a pretty basic beat-em-up game. Originally came out on the arcade. It's not a very hard game. It's actually pretty easy. You could throw it in and beat it probably within 25 minutes. So it's fun to just pop in and play every once in a while, but a classic in my opinion. And of course, Blades of Steel, a great hockey game. If you're familiar with this game, the biggest thing I remember from this one is the fights and the little games you could play in between the intermissions and the annoying whistling crowd. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for this week's pickups. Not bad. Added some ones that I really kind of wanted from my childhood. So I'm glad to have those again. It'll be fun to play these with the kids as well. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you want to follow us on Instagram, just hashtag GTTD and you'll find us, or Gaming Through the Decades. And we'll see you on the next video.